Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our SPLOST 2022 Forum. My name is Ashley Yeomans, working with the City of Powder Springs. Just wanted to welcome everybody tonight. Hope everybody's having a great evening. We have a lot of details on our SPLOST 2022 project list, but before we get into that, I do want to introduce some of our guests. We have some of our department heads with the city that's going to be giving those details on those. So with us, starting from the left, we have Police Chief Tony Bailey, and next to him, we have Community Development Director Tina Garber, and next to Tina, we have Public Works Director Dwayne Eberhardt, and then last but not least, we have Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Director Jeff Crowder. So just want to welcome them and everybody else that's viewing that out there today. We will have an opportunity to ask questions, so keep an eye out for those and submit those through our link on Facebook, and we will answer those live at the end. And before we go into our specifics on our project list, we just want to play a quick 2-minute video from Cobb County that kind of gives a high-level overview of what the SPLOST program is.
SPLOST stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. It was created by the state legislature in 1985 and became part of Cobb County's landscape shortly thereafter. Counties can ask voters to use this tax to pay for projects, but not to pay for operating expenses or maintenance of any county facility or service. Over the years in Cobb, SPLOST has paid for many of the county's transportation improvements, like the East-West Connector, multiple intersection improvements, and the new Terrell Mill-Windy Hill Connector currently under construction. Many of the county's amenities, including regional libraries, senior centers, and parks facilities, are here because of SPLOST. And some important public safety projects like a new police headquarters, a training facility, fire stations across the county, and vehicles were made possible because of SPLOST.
An important factor in SPLOST is that a good portion of that tax is paid for by people who don't even live here in Cobb County. It is impossible to calculate exactly how much, but some experts believe as much of a quarter of that tax is paid for by people who are here on business, to have brunch, or to take in a ball game while in Cobb County.
Even though this special 1-cent tax has been part of Cobb County for decades, the county still has the lowest sales tax rate in the state, and the use of SPLOST has helped Cobb keep its property tax millage rate among the lowest in Metro Atlanta. The current SPLOST in Cobb County expires at the end of 2021. Voters are being asked to renew it in November, so the county and cities can start planning now the next series of projects, which have already been identified and included on the 2022 SPLOST list, to keep Cobb County ahead of the curve on future needs.
Well, hopefully that video was helpful and informative for you and kind of maybe already answered some questions for you. But if not, we have a great presentation for you tonight. So we'll just go into it. So in case you don't already know, SPLOST stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, and it's an optional 1% county sales tax used to fund capital outlay projects proposed by county government and participating qualified municipal governments. The tax is imposed through a referendum by the County Board of Commissioners, and the tax is collected on items subject to sales and use tax within the county. The tax may be imposed for up to 6 years. So the current 2016 SPLOST program expires December 31st, 2021, which is where the SPLOST 2022 renewal comes in. The Cobb County 2022 renewal will be on the upcoming ballot for another 6-year collection period. So just a little bit of kind of how we got here. This is the SPLOST timeline that the county had published at the beginning of the process. As you can see, we're towards the end of that timeline. But the city had been working on their project list for over a year and a half, drafting projects based on projects listed in our planning documents that include our LCI plan update, our comprehensive plan, and our short-term work program. The city submitted that final list with consideration of public input through town hall meetings and city council meetings. And that was submitted to Cobb County, and they had adopted it as well as all of the cities in Cobb County's project list and advertise that as well. And you will see that referendum on the ballot on November 3rd. On this slide, this shows the final list that the City of Powder Springs submitted to Cobb County. As I mentioned, the City of Powder Springs presented this draft list over the course of many town hall meetings. This approved list includes projects relating to public safety, streetscapes, transportation, parks, and facilities. The amount budgeted for the City of Powder Springs based on the population is just over $14 million. And the Cobb County is also going to be allocating $3 million for joint SPLOST projects, bringing our total to just over $17 million. And now we'll have our department directors go into the specifics of our SPLOST projects, starting with Police Chief Tony Bailey.
Thank you, Ashley. As you can see on the SPLOST thing for public safety, we are looking at replacement vehicles for our patrol fleet. We have vehicles dated back to 2013 and trying to do a replacement schedule to keep costs down, maintenance costs and things like that. So we would have that in there to keep the fleet fresh and reduce the, okay, and then we also have our in-car mobile cameras and body cameras as well for replacement. As you know, technology, it gets better, advances over time and things like that. We're coming to the end of life on some of those systems, and so this would help us come up with the latest technology for our in-car and body camera systems for that. It also helps you know, protect the public and things like that for better transparency as we go forward. And then the radios, in the mobile radios in the cars and the portable radios are coming to the point where they're also coming to end of life, where we're going to have to replace those as well. It's getting more and more difficult as these years go by for replacement parts and things like that. So they are computers as well, and the technology has advanced so much that that's going to be a needed replacement as well. So that's the main projects for the police department, is just the vehicle replacement schedule, in-car camera systems, body-worn cameras, as well as radio systems. So.
Good evening, everybody. This is Tina Garver with Community Development. I'm going to go over 3 projects that are on the SPLOST list with you tonight. The first one is the Austell Powder Springs Corridor multi-use trail. This trail would connect downtown Austell with the city of Powder Springs, going along Austell Powder Springs Road and connecting to the Silver Comet Trail in Powder Springs, allowing visitors to visit the linear park and then ultimately our downtown area. This project was on the Cobb County Trails and Green Space and Trails Master Plan that was adopted in 2018, and our corridor and connectivity study that was done by Powder Springs later in 2018. The next project that I'm going to go over is parking in the downtown area. We have our brand new park and new businesses in the downtown area. One of the projects would be to assess the parking, the existing parking in the downtown area, and then establish projects such as possible restriping, parking garage, or maybe additional surface lots. And then the final project that I'm going to go over with you is additional trails that connect the downtown area to the Silver Comet Trail. Silver Comet Trail is a huge asset for our community, and we want to be able to bring visitors from the trail into our downtown area, or have people visit the downtown area so that they can get onto the trail. The trail connectivity would exist on Pineview Drive or on Old Lost Mountain Road. The trail connection on Old Lost Mountain Road was identified as a project in our LCI study.
Good evening. This is Dwayne Eberhardt, Public Works Director. I'm going to go over some transportation issues, roadway safety improvements that are on the 22 SPLOST program. This intersection project is at Dallas Powder Springs Road at Florence Road. This project has the option to construct a roundabout or turning lane, pedestrian improvements, sidewalks, traffic signal repairs, and signage. These improvements would definitely help increase the safety at this intersection. The next is Linear Park at Richard D. Saylors Parkway. This is a signal concept. This signal project pictured is for the Linear Park entrance, which currently does not have a signal. This project will construct a signal at the entrance located at Richard D. Saylors Parkway to increase traffic safety. Additional signal projects could be implemented under the 2022 program, such as Sweetwater Avenue or New Macklin. Next, we have street resurfacing. We have several streets that will be resurfaced under the SPLOST program. Some of the proposed resurfacing projects are Acorn Street, Atlanta Street, Barnwood Place, Bingle Drive, Bronco Lane, Brown Parkway, Buckhorn Court, Country Walk Drive, Daffodil Lane, Deer Creek, Alberta Terrace, Furlong Way, Hadrian Court, and Hillside Court. These streets are selected from a road rating report that was conducted back in 2016. Also, we would be doing some sidewalk and drainage associated with road projects. The current project that you're looking at is an 18-inch storm drain. This pipe goes from Marietta Street down to Hotel Street, and similar projects will be done like this based on needs. These are some of the 2022 projects for the SPLOST program. Thank you.
Well, good evening. Jeff Crowder, the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. The 2022 SPLOST program will have a profound impact on our department. 2 weeks ago, we opened up the new Thurman Springs Park right in downtown Powder Springs, and this SPLOST will provide funding to add 2 additional facilities and also funding to renovate and upgrade and update some of our existing facilities. First, let's look at our new facilities. In 2011, Cobb County Parks constructed a beautiful new baseball complex in Powder Springs Park, what we know to be as the back of the park, a 5-field complex. And this created an opportunity for the city to come in and add a passive element to the park, making it a balanced park right here in the heart of downtown Powder Springs. What we're looking to do is to add a dog park for both large and small dogs. The closest dog park currently is in Austell, Georgia. We're also looking at adding a medium to large size pavilion for 80 to 100 people. This is something the city does not have, and there's really not a pavilion in the area that holds that many people. So this would be a good gathering spot for parties, baseball banquets, or general usage is tied to the dog park. And third, we're also looking at adding a proposed parking lot / farmers market area. We're looking at creating some water and electrical outlets in that area so that we can have special events there with water and electricity, and that can tie into events that are also at Thurman Springs Park. The next facility is we're looking at Linear Park, and there's a piece of flat ground over there near Saylors and Marietta Street, and we're looking at building a state-of-the-art skate park. Staff has been going around the state looking at similar parks, and there's not many skate parks throughout the state, but we went to the city of Macon as well as the city of Kennesaw and looked at theirs, and we're looking at bringing one right here into the city of Powder Springs. It will be a competitive style skate park with both above ground ramps and jumps, as well as a bowl. So bringing in 2 different elements of skating inside Linear Park. Well, we're also not going to take, we're also going to have funding available for our existing facilities. We want to make sure our facilities stay up to date and stay updated and upgraded. We're looking at renovations to our Ford Center, where we're at tonight. We're looking at the Pat Vaughn Cultural Arts Center, our museum, and all of our buildings and our other parks that need some funding just to make sure we stay up to date and our facilities are maintain quality standards at all times for our city. And thank you very much.
All thank you to our department heads for all of that helpful and useful information on our projects. It's always good to hear kind of the details of what's going into the SPLOST projects that voters that will be voting on November 3rd. So on here we have some very important SPLOST websites for the public. The first one is our city SPLOST website. So this is where you can find updates on our projects. Not only can you find the project list that was presented tonight, you can also find updates on the 2016 SPLOST program, which is still underway. We have the Oversight Committee updates linked on that website. And one of the coolest things that we have on that website right now is a video that was compiled by one of our officers, Officer Rook, that really shows and details some of the completed 2016 projects. So definitely go check that out. It's a great visual aid to kind of see what SPLOST can do. Another really important website is Cobb County's SPLOST renewal website, which is also linked up here. They will have all of the details, not only just for the cities, but also for the unincorporated areas of Cobb County. That'll include the full project list for everywhere in the county, all of the timelines, and all of the information that you would need to know about the SPLOST program. And with that, that concludes our presentation on our SPLOST 2022 projects for the city of Powder Springs. Hopefully, if you've been able to submit questions, and if you haven't, go ahead and do that really quickly. But I did want to see if there had been any questions that have been submitted.
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like there's been any questions, but that is okay. So if any questions come up, whether you're viewing this live or if you're viewing this at a later time, feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Ashley Yeomans. My contact information is up on the screen. Feel free to email me or call me to ask me any questions about our SPLOST programs, and I will be glad to answer those for you and direct you to the right place. So thank you again to everybody that has watched today. Hopefully this has been helpful. And like I said, feel free to reach out if any questions come up, and hope you have a great evening.